All right. Good morning, guys. It's Miss Siobhan here. Unfortunately, I can't seem to figure out how to include my video, the picture of my face today, but um, I've been receiving some questions about the Hate You Give writing assignments. So I thought today would be a great chance as we're getting closer and closer to the end of the book. I'd go over the final product for one of them for you. Please be reminded that, as with almost any English assignment, do not worry about the strands. When I grade your work, once you've submitted polished final drafts of your work, I take a look at what credits you need and what kind of writing you did to determine what credit you will get. So do know you will get credit for your work. It doesn't matter if you already have that strand or maybe you don't see a strand. Know that the writing assignments are set up so that there's a lot of choice. Some of you will be working towards information writing. Some of you will be working towards narrative. Some of you will just be working towards the technology component. We are in this to help you. So all you need to worry about is submitting artifacts. We'll worry about getting you the credit. Know that it all counts. For this project, the Hate You Give Perspectives Writing Challenge, the final product asks you to step into the shoes of other characters from the book. And you'll see very clearly at the top, in order to earn credit, researchers must submit polished final drafts of each journal entry for evaluation. So as we continue reading, we'll see that there are two, but you want to submit your best work. Remember that writing is a process. We start with a rough draft, we go back, we edit, revise, and then we submit our polished draft, which is as error-free as possible. So your best work. Now, some of the major themes of The Hate You Give are dealing with dueling identities. We talked about that code switching and the importance of perspective. We talked about how certain members of our society look at situations one way and other people look in a different lens. We talk about Star and her life at her private school and Star and her life in Garden Heights. So different perspectives. That's the point of view they're looking from. So again, some of the major themes of The Hate You Give are dealing with dueling identities and the importance of perspective. To show comprehension, so to show me that you understand these themes, you'll complete 2 journal entries. So 2 journal entries, and each journal entry is from a different point of view. So for one journal entry, you might write from Star's point of view. For your next journal entry, you may choose to write from the officer's point of view. But remember, you step into their shoes. It's not saying, I think the officer would have said this. No, you become 115. You say, I told that kid to stay right there. He opened the car door, and when I saw him reach, I thought I had to defend myself. So you're writing as though you are the character. You must use precise details. So that's those specific examples, maybe even a quotation. I'm always trying to get you to support ideas with quality evidence. Precise details is an example of quality evidence. Each journal should be about 200 words. That's about 3/4 of a page if you're to type it double spaced. If you're writing in your notebook, it's probably a full page of one of those spiral bound sheets of paper. But as always, quality is more important than quantity. So in a nutshell, I want you to step into the character's shoes, describe the situation from their point of view. It's like their Dear Diary moment. The first entry, you'll write an entry from 115 perspective. Again, this is the officer who shot Khalil. You'll include details about the night Khalil was murdered. You must write this entry as if you are 115. You need to exclude personal biases. So even if you don't like 115, if you think he was wrong, to write this entry, you have to imagine you're him and you are speaking from his point of view, what was going through his mind that evening. Whether you agree with it or not doesn't matter. The ability to step into that other character's shoes is the skill that we're looking at. So write as if he was writing. You must also include emotions that you, like he, Officer 115, was feeling. The reaction to the shooting, how they felt afterwards. So again, you are writing as the officer and you're describing your side of the story from the night Khalil got killed. Entry number 2, You'll write an entry from Star's perspective. So you will step into Star's shoes. And yes, even if you're a boy, you will become Star for this entry, and vice versa with the last one. So write an entry from Star's perspective. You'll include details about the night Khalil was murdered. So again, describe what she saw, what she was feeling, as though you are Star herself. You write this entry as if you're Star. You must include emotions that you were feeling, the thoughts running through your head, and so forth. So she might say, I was sitting there in the car and I was so scared. I looked outside and Khalil was getting yelled at by the police officer. I didn't know what to do, but my hands were on the dashboard. We were doing what we were told. So you step into her shoes and write as though you are Star. Important, your entries need to stay true to the book. So as much as you can add a couple extra details that we didn't know, you can't change the outcome. So for example, do not pretend that Star punches the cop when the book clearly tells us that doesn't happen. Feel free to make up things that we don't know. Example, if 115 felt regret, or if Star was genuinely laughing at the situation because she was nervous or something. Sometimes we laugh at inappropriate times. You can make up details like that, but do not make up things that would contradict the novel. All right? So as much as some of us would like 115 out of there and gone, we can't say that outright because that doesn't happen in the story. We want to stay true to the book. All right, so it's basically 2 journal entries. I've put this graphic here to remind you of some of the key themes and some of the key ideas. Obviously, we have the hairbrush, and the hairbrush is not a gun. There was the worry that they were selling drugs. All right, again, thug life. I apologize. I thought I'd had this start out, but we know what the thug actually means. And a lot of the themes that come out, you haven't responded to my friend request yet. So that impatience and that competition between the friendships, Haley and Maya and Star. We talk about Garden Heights. Here we see the chain link fence versus Riverton Hills. We see the picket white fence. So comparing the places. So all sorts of ideas just to give you items to write about, those specific examples for that quality evidence. All right, I was trying to find the word that said, oh yeah, precise details. There we go, quality evidence. So once again, 2 journal entries. Each journal entry is about a page. So we're talking about 2 pages of writing here total. This can get you strands that you need, whatever grade level you are at, it will count. Remember that we are working in this together. So hopefully that inspires some of you to respond to the Hate You Give. We'll be back again next week with some more reading and possibly the end of the book. And don't forget, there's some other assignments to choose from, so feel free to check them out on your own. I'll continue to review a new one for you in the coming days. Take care and have a great weekend.